Shedeur. That's what I'm talking about, Shedeur. My boy Shedeur had his first game this past, what was it, Friday, Saturday, and he threw for two touchdowns. He threw for two touchdowns, and it was perfect timing. Let's see, 14 to 23, 138 yards, and two touchdowns. I'm just really happy with Shedeur. Like he put on a good performance, and at first when I was watching, it looked like he was a little bit nervous, as anybody would be. Like this is his first game. Granted, preseason game, but it's still his first game. But I watched his post game interview, and then he said, he was like, I wasn't nervous. I just got to get comfortable, and that makes a lot of sense. And I thought he looked nervous because in the pocket, a couple of drives, he looked like he had jitters, like he looked like he had happy feet. He was moving around, but he was still moving in the pocket. If you're a quarterback, that's the best thing you could do is move in the pocket. Don't be a sitting duck. So Shedeur's moving in the pocket. He's stepping up. He's scrambling, but like his timing looked a little bit off. So that's why I thought that he looked nervous. But once he settled in the game, he was slinging that ball around. And I'm just so happy for Shedeur. And then you see on social media, you see the Browns, they're shouting him out. They're posting tweets, and it's like, bro, y'all didn't believe in Shedeur. Y'all probably still don't, if we're being honest. Like, you guys didn't believe in Shedeur. You gave him a start, so, I guess we got to take that for what it is. But still, it's like, how did you pass on this man 5 times? Or 4 times? He went in the 5th round. And funny enough, too, I don't know if people know, but Tom Brady is Shedeur Sanders' mentor. And it's like, if your mentor is Tom Brady, that should get you a first-round pick by itself. Like, how many other quarterbacks can say that they're being mentored by Tom Brady? And so Shedeur, he's got a mentor. He's got the skills. And let's not forget, he's a son of prime time. So, like, he knows how to play football. He knows what's required. He knows how to be successful, to say the least. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Shedeur. They have another preseason game coming up against the Eagles. That'll be Saturday, August 16th. Got to slow down a little bit. I almost said October. So Saturday, August 16th, the Browns will be playing the Eagles. Who do we think is going to start that game? Is it going to be Shedeur, or is it going to be Dillon Gabriel? And another important question that we have to ask is, who's going to end up being the Browns starting quarterback? On their roster, they have Joe Flacco, they have Deshaun Watson, of course Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, and another quarterback, I think Tyrod Huntley. And Deshaun Watson is on the physically unable to participate list. So really, it's almost like it's up between Flacco and Shedeur. Now, I could see them starting with Flacco. Honestly, I really don't think it's a good look when teams, like, granted, rookies should play. That's what you drafted them for, right? But you are the Cleveland Browns. You have a unique situation. You guys lose a lot of games. So it would be fair for Shedeur to get playing time, but it would be unfair to just throw him to the wolves. And now it's week 4. You guys are 0-4. Shedeur probably got 6 picks. Not saying that's going to happen, but it's a possibility. You got to put him in a good position to win. And then, let everything else take care of itself. The Browns, they have a great defense. I'm not too sure about their skill positions. Like, I can't even think of any skill position players on the Browns that's, worth mentioning. Forgive me, skill players, if I just offended you, but nobody's really jumping out. Browns running back roster. I'm not even sure who's on there. Oh, actually, let me backtrack a little bit. Forgive me. The Browns, y'all got Quinshawn Judkins. Y'all got Dylan Sampson. And They got Travion Williams. All right. Well, Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson is something serious. Quinshon Judkins, he transferred to Ohio State, and everybody know that championship game. He had 3 touchdowns. He runs really well. He kind of reminds me of like a bigger. What's the Lions running back name? He reminds me of a bigger Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, he runs like Jahmyr Gibbs, but he's like a little bit bigger. He's a little bit more solid. And then Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson came over. He was drafted from Tennessee. Strong running back. He is a good replacement for like Nick Chubb. So you guys got some skilled players. So really, it's gonna be on the coaching staff. It's gonna be on the organization itself. Like, what are we doing to put Shedeur Sanders in position to be successful? Travis Hunter. This week there was a lot of rookies that finally got to step on the field for the first time. One of these players being Travis Hunter. Now, Travis Hunter was the top. What was he drafted? Number 2 or number 3? So he's a top 3 draft pick. All right, and he is a franchise player. You draft someone like Travis Hunter to turn your franchise around, to start implementing good habits as a team, to create a culture. So that's why, you got Travis Hunter. Of course, he's going to play on both sides of the ball. But, what he brings more than just stepping onto the football field. So he played in this week's game this past Saturday against the Steelers. He only had 18 snaps in total. All right. The Jags did end up losing that game. But what's worth noting is that Travis Hunter started at wide receiver. So, in college, he started on defense. He played offense as well, but we know that defense was his specialty. So now we, are in the NFL, and he started at wide receiver. A lot of people were wondering, like, okay, well, where's Travis going to play? Is he really going to play on both sides of the ball? Because that's almost like impossible, especially in the NFL. Like, someone put it really great. They were like, can Travis Hunter play both positions in the NFL like he did in college and have success? And there's been some people who's dabbled on both sides of the ball. Prime, Champ Bailey, just different, always obviously DBs. But Travis, he can play both ways. And he started, like I said, on offense. So he had 2 catches for 9 yards. But one of the catches, he had a screen pass, and it only went like 10 yards, but you could tell that he is in really good shape, for one. And for 2, like, he's going to be special. Like, Travis Hunter, when he took that little screen pass, it kind of reminded me of, like, Justin Jefferson a little bit. And I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but Travis has great feet. Like, he's so fluid. He can move his feet really fast. He can get in and out of breaks. Why do you think he's so good at playing on both sides of the ball? It's not a coincidence. So he can play on both sides of the ball, and I'm really excited to see what he's gonna do. Now, he's on the Jags. I don't even know what to say about the Jags. Like, they should be a lot better than what they are, especially when you have a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. But they're in somewhat of a weak division. So you got the Colts, you got the Jags, you got the Titans, and you got the Texans. So really, out of that, I think the only teams that you're really worrying about is the Texans. I don't think they really have to worry about the Colts, if I'm being honest. And then the Titans, with their new quarterback, Cam Ward. And I think that's actually a perfect segue. So Cam Ward played this past weekend as well, and everyone's interested to see how Cam Ward is going to play. He was drafted number 1 overall, of course, and we know that he has a cannon for an arm, and he's really precise. So that's what landed Cam Ward as the #1 overall pick. So he played in the game against the Bucks. You know, they lost 29-7. But he completed 3 passes. You know, one being to Calvin Ridley, and then there was a touchdown that Cam Ward helped them. You know, he helped lead the drive to a touchdown. It was a 65-yard touchdown drive that he spent on the field. And so it's like, it's preseason, right? Just show us something. And I think what he showed us is his ability to move in the pocket, his ability to get the ball out quick, make good decisions, even though he only completed 3 passes. But you know, it's a starting point. It's something to build off of. So I think the Titans, they have a nice outlook to their season. You know, like I said, they're in a weak division, if we're being honest. Houston will probably win that division. But with Tennessee, like, I think they'll have a successful season if they win at least, you guys got to win at least like 6 or 7 games. You got to win at least 6 or 7 games. It would be nice to have an upset somewhere in there. It would also be nice to win some division games. Like, can you beat the Colts? Can you beat the Texans? So that's going to be really interesting to see. I do think that Cam Ward is going to have a great season. Cam Ward is always locked in. And so here's another question. If Cam Ward and Shedeur both start from week 1, who's going to have a better season? Who's going to have a better season? Is it going to be Cam Ward or is it going to be Shedeur? Like, we know they're boys. We know they're competitive. So I'm sure, you know, one would want to outplay the other. I kind of like, this is really tough actually, but I will just go ahead and say Cam Ward. I think Cam is a little bit more polished than Shedeur. I think he seems to be locked in. Like, he said it himself, I'm a football player. I'm not a rapper. When you Google Cam Ward, you're going to see American football player. And that type of mentality is what you need to get over the hump. Shedeur, it's like he has the talent, we know, but sometimes it gets tricky with Shedeur. You don't know if, like, the off the field things will kind of like obstruct his view, or, you know, just have him off his game. Like, he doing all this, I was doing this at the beginning of the video, that's all fun and all, but it's a time and a place. So if Shedeur locks in the way he's supposed to lock in, of course he could prove me wrong, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and make my pick for Cam Ward. Let me know in the comment section, who do you think is going to have a better first year if they were to have the same playing time. That is kind of like an asterisk, because we don't know if Shedeur is going to start the whole season like we know Cam Ward will. But overall, it was a pretty fun preseason. I ended up seeing the Jets game. The Jets played... who did the Jets play? They didn't play the... okay, they played the Packers. I was thinking of the Rams. I'm like, they didn't play the Rams. I know the Cowboys played the Rams. But okay, so the Jets played the Packers. And one thing I could just say is, Aaron Rodgers, we will not miss you. Let me repeat that again. Aaron Rodgers, we will not miss you. Justin Fields was moving in the pocket. He was stepping up. He was scrambling. He scored from like 10 or 7 yards out. And it's like, oh, where have you been? Aaron Rodgers cannot do that. So I'm just like, I'm going to the Jets game. The season opener, Jets versus Steelers. And I'm going to boo Aaron Rodgers like you wouldn't even know. Like, I'm going to just boo that man. Aaron Rodgers, get off the field. You stink. You stink. Justin Fields been here two weeks, and he already doing more than you could ever think of doing for the Jets. Like, Aaron Rodgers, you ain't do nothing for us. You ain't do nothing. I hope you have a great season over there in Pittsburgh, and I hope we spank y'all, which we probably will, because if you saw that Jets defense, Aaron Rodgers, I know you probably shaking in your boots right now. You're going up against Quinnen Williams. You're going to be on your back. You're going to be getting pancaked. You're going to be throwing picks to Sauce. We taking it to the crib, and we showing out at MetLife. So I'm going to have a video coming from MetLife from that first game of the season. So look out for that. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, share. I really appreciate all the viewers, all the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know who's your favorite football team. Let me know who's your favorite players. Let me know, any topics that you want me to cover. It's your boy MajorGTV, and I'm out.